Each year, 16 teams sit on the bubble and fight for survival as only 8 are kept on Selection Sunday. Throughout the season, bubble teams will emerge, while other teams' chances at a bid will burst. For more on how the bubble is shaping up as we near March, here's Thomas Howlett. Young was able to bring in 5 newcomers, 3 highly touted transfers, and 2 absolute studs from overseas. Ik Blacksburg apektise in astari ton Neoklas Avdalis. Neohiacentomia. Okay, who am I kidding? I don't know Greek, but what I do know is that this kid is a problem. The temperature has been dropping in Blacksburg, and I think it's time Mike Young takes his team somewhere where the weather matches the heat that this squad is bringing to Castle Coliseum. So, how about the Bahamas? Did you know that Niele Ivey has begun to implement a Sesame Street style of practice in South Bend? Yeah, that's right. Notre Dame has their own form of the Cookie Monster in Hannah Hidalgo. She's stealing everything. For more on Hannah Hidalgo's masterclass on the defensive side, here's Robbie Ackerley. Confetti flies as the buzzer sounds, and Duke is back-to-back ACC champions. Great stuff, Anya. Well, Tony Bennett left Virginia in 2024, and they were in a lot of traffic in that 2025 season. But Ryan Odom has helped them seamlessly merge into that left lane, and now they're cruising into the ACC title game, where Sam Mostow has more on how Ryan Odom got to that coaching position. Exactly. You know, some kings have left their mark in Castle, names like Del Curry, Eric Green, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but were they able to expand their empires in the NBA? Our very own Everett Actolay has more on that. Everett? Thanks, Riley. Well, today Pitt and Stanford came into the game with Stanford being a last 4 out, the third in that group, but Pitt had to mix up some things with a 64-63 win. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered March, which means it is now time to fawn over the upsets that have been featured in this tournament since its inception, including when UMBC became the first ever 16 seed to beat... What's this? Actually, it was the Harvard women's basketball team that was the first 16 seed to beat a 1 seed when they defeated Stanford in Maples Pavilion in 1998. For more on that fateful day in Palo Alto, here's our very own Taylor Brettel. We've seen under-the-radar teams make their mark on Paradise Island. Don't be surprised if history repeats itself in 2025. Until then, it's all business for the Hokies. In 1970, the Allman Brothers Band released the song Midnight Rider. It's a song that's widely considered as a staple for rock in the South, with its mellow tunes and sweet guitar solo. In the famous tune, a midnight rider is somebody that embodies a man that lives day to day, refusing to be brought down. And the interesting thing is that there's a physical embodiment of the Midnight Rider in Blacksburg, Virginia, and his name? It's Brent Pry. Now the defensive coordinator at Virginia Tech, Pry landed that job just a few months after being fired from his position of Hokies head coach. It's one of the most improbable coaching turnarounds you've ever seen, but it really puts the Allman Brothers tune into light. Like the Midnight Rider, Pry lives life a day at a time. He didn't get too down on himself when he got let go, and was never too pompous when his former coaching colleague James Franklin began asking about the job that he had once held. Through it all, Pry stayed calm and didn't let the negative circumstances catch him. Instead, he stayed the course and landed himself a job in next to no time. Now, Brent Pry has one more silver dollar, and you best believe that he is going to make the most of it. He's being given a second chance that 99% of collegiate football coaches could never dream of. So, when Greg Allman put a different spin on the Midnight Rider in the year 1973, it turned out to be a hit. Only time will tell if Pry's new look will spell success for the Hokies in 2026 and beyond. Here's Cal Meese, first time we've seen him in the second half. He's back from an injury that seemed like it would sideline him for the rest of the season. He kicks it over Juke Harris, left wing triple, no good. Offensive rebound fought for, but lost eventually by Ballou and over to Clemson. 50-32, they lead, 14:40 to play in the second half. Now it's with Dallas Thomas working from the logo, kicks over to the right side to Ace Buckner. Inside, it's Godfrey kicking over to the left wing. Whalen. Now back over to Thomas at the top of the key. 8 seconds to shoot for Clemson. He spins back at the left elbow and now kicks Buckner a long-range triple off the front iron and the backboard and into the hands of Juke Harris. Wake Forest on the break now with Cal Meese. Back over to Juke on the extended left wing. They're working it around with Schwieger now with Juke Harris on the left wing. Couple of dribbles, bounce pass inside. Schwieger, left block, he puts it up, off glass, rolls around, doesn't drop, but Schwieger will have 2 shots at the free throw line.
But once again, that's an area of the game we haven't seen much of today. Just a combined 4 free throws, 2 apiece for each side. So Schwieger trying to assert some confidence is big for Wake Forest if they want to even keep within reach.
Schwieger stands at 6 feet 10 inches tall. Just 5 points per game on the season coming off the bench. His first free throw is off the back iron, no good. 78% on the season for him from that charity stripe. Leaving points at the free throw line is something Wake Forest has done so far today. They've left 2 there, make it 3. But an offensive rebound comes to Wake Forest and Miles Coven. He's fouled in the act of shooting, and he'll go to the line to try and capitalize on Schwieger's misses.
Well, this traded out, they'll go right back to it, and you don't see that every day, right? That first of all, it's a missed free throw, but then not only do they get the offensive board for that chance, and it just leads to history repeating itself.
Colvin nearly 90% on the season at the line, and he misses his first. This is unbelievable, Riley. They're 1 for 5 from the free throw line today, and Colvin, an 88.5% free throw shooter, misses his first.
And Clemson's 0 for 2, by the way, as well. I don't know what's going on in this building.
Someone must have made a lot of free throws before this one. Law of large numbers are paying off as Colvin goes 0 for 2, an almost 90% free throw shooter, 0 for 2 on that one. And Clemson still retains the 18-point lead with under 14 to play in the second half. They'll work on offense now. Top of the key with Davidson inside. It's Godfrey spinning, turning, putting up the left-handed floater on the left block, and he puts it down. RJ Godfrey getting going. Clemson up by 20. Here goes Calmise on the baseline. Now back out to the right wing with Ballou. Working across the arc, Ballou trying to find another person in black. He finds Juke Harris, top of the key. Over to Schwieger, back to Juke. Left wing extended driving, free throw line, loses it over to Calmise on the right wing. His triple is down the hatch. 13-15 to play, 52-35. Clemson still ahead.
That was a big shot. Wasn't even necessarily intended for that to be the shot, but he delivers.
Godfrey has it, right wing, ball over his head. Cross-court pass, Davidson, left wing triple for him. Off the front iron, no good. Tapped out of bounds off of Wake Forest. Wallin was also there challenging the rebound, forcing the disruption, and with 12:58 to play in the game, Clemson will have it underneath Wake Forest's basket. Buckner to inbound, he gets it into Davidson on the left wing. Dribble handoff with Buckner going to his right, and a right-handed pass back over to his teammate with Clemson working around the horn. Davidson inside throws a lazy pass, but it kicks out back to Buckner from the logo. His triple, front iron, no good, rebounded by Spiller. Here goes Calmise, 12:40 to play. Wake Forest down by 17. Calmise between his legs, loses his dribble, picks it back up, and just kicks it to Juke Harris way back at the logo. Now with Colvin, he picks up his dribble on the left wing, looking for somebody to pass it to, and he finds Ballou. Hands off to Calmise, top of the logo. Calmise working 6 to shoot. He pulls up, draws a foul on a three-point attempt, and Calmise has 3 coming to him at the charity stripe. There were 5 seconds left on the shot clock there, Riley.
You could tell that he wanted that shot, and he's feeling the confidence after that last made 3 he had very recently. Lets it fly there, and he gets to go to the charity stripe and is rewarded.
Well, Wake Forest 1 for 6 today. Calmise on the season, 73%, and he rattles the first home. 2 of 7 now is what Wake Forest is from the charity stripe. 52-36 is your new score with 12:21 to play in the second half. Calmise dribbles a few times, puts it up and down. 52-37. These are important free throws, Riley, in that you can score when the game is stopped, and it gives you a little bit of a better opportunity in making a comeback bid.
Right, because we saw in the last contest that Cal ran out of time, really, against Florida State. They were making a strong comeback, but they just ran out of time, and it could be a similar situation here.
Calmise's third attempt is true. A 3-for-3 trip to the line for Nate Calmise. And Clemson leads by 14, 12-15 to play in the second half. Buckner creates some space, kicks out right corner three for Clemson, no good. Offensive rebound falls to Wallin, and Clemson will do it over again. Whistles blow, a timeout is called. And that'll send us to a quick break on 33:04 Sports. Clemson leading Wake Forest 52-38, just over 12 to play in the second half. We'll be right back on Mixler.